Hi, it's John from Albinos Unlimited. You're listening to Her Purpuree.
It says here we should work in teams. I tend to think of myself as a one-man wolf pack.
You're about to enter Information Overload, a worldwide transmission with Her Purpuree's featured Breeder of the Week. Here's your host, Jason Rossi.
Hey, welcome back, guys, to Her Purpuree. Thank you for joining us. Just want to remind you we're streaming live on herpurpuree.com and iTunes. Also, while you're over there, register to win a 2012 female pastel ball python. We're having a contest, so be sure to check it out, register, become part of the community. This week's featured Breeder of the Week has a very impressive, diverse collection with some amazing projects. John Rosenstrach from Albinos Unlimited is this week's special guest. John, welcome to Her Purpuree.
Thanks, man. How you doing?
All right, man, not too bad. It's snowing up here. I'm sure you're aware, so thank you for joining us.
Definitely. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So why don't you tell our listeners how you got your start over there at Albinos Unlimited?
It really started really simple. I went out to the Philly show with some friends, and I saw an albino ball python. And I grabbed the male, and I was like, oh, cool snake. Never worked with snakes before. I did mostly turtles. Then I grabbed the spider, and then got a couple more balls. 15 balls turned into 100, and 100 turned into what we have today.
Wow, what are you looking at over there today?
Close to 800.
Wow, that's a impressive collection there.
Got really big, really fast.
So was that done by doing a lot of holdbacks or doing a lot of purchasing?
I did it differently than a lot of my friends did. When I first started buying, I bought mostly females. So it was every year I just kept buying different female morphs, and now I'm up to, I don't have any normals or anything like that. So it's mostly buying and then keeping back the first 3 years of production I had.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to keep the normal population down there. So that's definitely the way to go, I think. That's obviously the way you're going, so.
It's also, I have to try to keep it smaller scale. I mean, I buy my rodents. I don't breed rodents. So it's trying to get the most bang for the room and the buck, like per draw at this point.
So do you feed frozen, thaw, and live, or just one or the other?
Just live.
Just live.
Just live.
So why don't you tell us about that albino female alligator, the world's first captive-born bred albino there. The first
that was
in 2010.
That was a great opportunity I had. I always wanted albino alligators, and a couple of friends of mine down in Florida, Greg and Sean, called me up and said, listen, the zoo's getting rid of one more pair. We need some animals for the group. Do you want in? And I was like, oh, definitely. And, luckily I got a really good female from the zoo. And, they were at Sean's house, and they bred, and we produced a good clutch the first year. So it was really exciting to get it going, and it's been great for every last 3 years we've produced.
Now, how does something like that occur? Is it just by line breeding, or?
We actually have, in that breeding group at Sean's, one male and 2 female albinos. So it's pure albino to albino breeding.
How long have they been in existence?
We've had them 4 years, but they've been traced back to 2000. Could have been 99 or 2001. The original ones were found down in Louisiana.
Wow. I wonder how something like that occurs.
I think it's just a natural occurring het population that, they were going through so many eggs, they just happened to find a couple of albinos and grew them up.
I look at your website, and it's Albinos Unlimited for no reason, man. It's everything is albino. Albino iguanas. Those are pretty badass looking, man. They I like how they just whip you.
Yes, and it's cool. I'm working with Mike down Snakes at Sunset. We have a really cool group of a completely different strain of albinos that were wild caught in Miami. Some kid caught some albinos in his backyard. So that's the group we're working.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's really don't think you're seeing albinos sitting in a tree in Miami.
You find anything down there, huh? So about those albino Cuban tree frogs, they require a lot of care? I mean, do you recommend them to a beginner reptile keeper?
I'm working on another albino tree frog that I have up here that I think is going to be a better project. We were having problems with the albino Cubans eating each other. So I'm working with albino barking tree frog. We just got some wild caught ones that we're working with up here now. So hopefully we should have those available next year.
Well, you told me that the real passion is with the torts and the turtles. So why don't you tell us a little bit about those guys? I was looking at your website. There's a plethora of different things going on there.
It was funny. I started doing the turtles and tortoises 20 years ago, just collecting them and really enjoying them. And as the prices on the weird albinos started to skyrocket, I got into other projects to finance the turtles. But the turtles are more or less just my personal collection that they're my pets.
Nice. You got the albino sulcata there. We have a sulcata. That's awesome looking at that. You got a two-headed
cool
sulcata there too, huh?
I got the two-headed sulcata. I've been offered. People wanted it in China and all over the world. He just won't go anywhere. That's Jay and Silent Bob.
We'll have Daytona and Orlando.
Yeah, they are now 6 years old. Still going strong and doing great. Those are about two-headed cooters we picked up at the Daytona show 6 years ago.
So they both eat?
Both eat. Yeah, they actually are really good. I've had a bunch of two-headed stuff over the years, and that's by far the best two-headed turtles we've had.
Awesome. So you got the albino Nile monitor, too.
We have him. He's really cool. The other project we're working with monitor-wise that's, I think, better than him is we also have the albino Savannah that we picked up. We got in from Africa this year. She's doing really good. So that's the next project for next year. Hopefully really try to get something going with those and get them on the market.
And you got the Bolins, man. Those things are pretty badass looking, too.
Kick-ass snakes. By far the most intelligent snakes I've ever worked with. And super personalities, really cool, always watching you. And hopefully, we're up this way, we can actually get some breeding and see if we can actually do it here, since they've been successful in Maryland.
Yeah, because we had Robin on from Pro Exotics, and he said they're not that prolific, or we haven't really figured out the recipe yet on these guys.
There's definitely something we're missing. What I'm doing is, we've looked into it. Every successful breeding is done by really old females. So we're not even going to try to breed ours until she's at least 7 or 8. See if that maybe has something to do with it.
Just getting that age on her and be able to handle production.
And keeping her really thin, A lot of them I see are really obese, and I think that has something else to do with it.
Because if it's taken in the wild, they're not going to be stuffed like pigs.
Yeah.
Well, you got a lot of two-headed things. You said you got the two-headed king over there, too. You still got that guy?
That guy is in Japan. We sold him off. We have sold the two-headed corn. Now it's the sulcata. We have two-headed stink pots that are still doing good, and the cooter.
Can you just imagine how cool that'll look as a huge sulcata? That's just, I can't wait to see that thing.
That was the second we saw it, when a guy called me and said he hatched it out. That's all I could figure. It's a big, 60-pound two-headed tortoise walking around.
That's awesome. So you got the Pac-Man frogs over there. How are those to keep for, let's say, a novice keeper?
We got rid of them.
Did you?
They just did not do well.
Is it just the Pac-Mans or all Pac-Mans or?
I don't know if it's something we were doing wrong or just that specific, the morphs, or what it was. We just had no luck with them.
All right, into some good luck here. The Albino Unlimited caramel bread to mojo here. That's a killer combo. But so you're hoping to prove out your own caramel line there?
Yeah, I think we think it's a caramel. It's definitely, as she's grown, she's got really weird looking. We bred her. We got hets. I haven't bred her back yet. She did lay a small clutch, so maybe she's not a caramel. I don't know. Cool little project to play with.
She looks good, that's for sure. And you also got the VPI Xanthics over there.
Working with the black Xanthics, by far one of the coolest projects we're working with right now. And then crossing on into some different morphs are really going to make some interesting looking snakes.
Well, I was reading that you said that the regular Xanthics are super dark as well.
Yeah. I got a couple. Could very well. I mean, it could be because they're all coming from Tracy, or I got a wild caught line that's just as dark too. But I got some that also brown out, so I think it's a crapshoot on some of them.
Yeah, because I was looking, I was like, man, those are super dark, man. Will you produce the banana clown out there?
Yeah. Got some crazy banana combos coming, hopefully this year. Did some amazing ones in 2012 and 2011. We're going to try, hopefully the super females will be big enough to go this year. The pastel banana clowns breeding to some interesting crosses. It should be exciting on that project.
Awesome, man. Well, another exciting project you're going to be having over there, hopefully, is the battery acid. That looks like a rough-scaled snake, but you think it's something maybe scaleless. What's going on with that?
We bred her this year. She bred a spinner blast. I got 3 eggs, and out of 3 eggs, I got a battery acid pin female, a battery spinner blast female, and a spinner blast female. So it's definitely genetic. I just don't know if the super form is going to be scaleless, or if there's going to be. I'm guessing it's going to be something along the line of the beards. Would be my guess.
It's hard to tell from the picture, but is it missing scale, or is it scales that look like they're raised and sticking out?
The best way to describe it is the scales are odd shapes. They're not. There's nothing. There's no normal scales, and 90% of the scales are beaded like a Gila or an Angola.
Wow, that's pretty cool, man. I gotta say. So you got the bug over there. That's your own line granite, or what?
That is my own line granite that we will be unveiling some really amazing stuff this year from them.
Yeah, it seems like the granite really turns it up a notch when you start adding it to stuff.
Yeah, and just some of these weirder projects that have just been sitting here because we didn't have the time to focus on, or really, now that we're focusing on trying to find something different, some really cool stuff's popping out.
Well, not only you have the jester, you have the court jester. That thing is ridiculous. I showed the wife last night. I was like, look at this. She's like, my daughter's like, what is that? And my wife's like, that's a ball python? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, wow. I was like, yeah, I'm interviewing that guy. So that thing's cool to look at.
Oh, they're great. That is, I guess, the project that really put us on the map when we came out swinging 7 years ago. Rough start, rough project. Females didn't want to lay, all of the whole project was wild caught. And it's just taken a really long time to get it where we are now. And hopefully this will be the year to see if it's genetic or not. I'm hoping we have someone going like Brian with the sunsets. Just going to take a really long time to prove it.
Yeah, it would be worth it though, the long wait just to see another one of those pop out of an egg, man. That snake is just sick, man.
This year we will hopefully be able to do it every different combination-wise. To each other, to sisters, to brothers, mother to daughter, mother to son. Any way we can figure out how to do it, it's going to be bred this way to see if we can do it.
Wow. Well, I wish you luck, man, because that right there will be definitely a game changer in the ball python market. All right, so you got some clowns, but you got some clowns with question marks. When I looked at them, I was like, yeah, they definitely got some funky pattern going on. So what do you think's going on with that?
That's really interesting. I got those clowns. There was a pair of them. Those again came from my good buddy down in Florida, Mikey. Those clowns were produced from a het clown male to a sibling of my banana clown. So we don't know if she was carrying something. There's definitely something going on because he did it 2 years in a row. So I haven't figured it out yet, but I don't know if it's because it's a banana sibling, it's throwing something, the mother. But as far as we can trace back, we haven't found anything really different to be producing clowns like that.
Yeah, I've never seen them look like that. Looks like a king on a chair almost. So what direction are you guys going with that genetic stripe?
Last year we bred them into the bananas. This year we're breeding them into red stripes.
Oh, man, the Red Devil.
Yeah. I really think that's going to be a really good project to get into down the future, and I think it's just another one of these overlooked projects.
Yeah, that's definitely on the long-range shot on the blip for me, man. It's on there, but I'll get there someday. I got the perfect G-stripe girl waiting, so it's just a matter of time.
Just another really cool project that even the G-stripes are so underrated.
Yeah, I have to agree. So why don't you tell us about that jungle bee?
The jungle bee, we don't know. That's the best answer I can give. I picked it up at a Hamburg show. We definitely know it's got bumblebee and spider. It's got pastel and spider. The other gene, I don't know what it is. I bred it last year to a super pastel pin, and we produced some pastel pin, whatever that missing gene is, and it's just unbelievable looking.
Not a het pied or a leopard or anything going on?
It's not leopard. It doesn't look like what that would look like. It doesn't look like a trick either. It's just really weird looking. I got to put some pictures up and show that off.
That strawberry cream, have you made any progress with that? That's a beautiful animal.
She has to be the worst eating snake I've ever had. She came in from Africa too, and she'll eat one gerbil every 3-4 months. Just another gonna be a long project, but we'll get it there.
So is it like a last resort thing, a gerbil for some captive?
Yeah, I really don't like doing gerbils. Usually it's rats, mice, occasionally an African soft fur. And then, all else fails, it's the gerbil, and even that's not working with her.
Yeah, you see an animal like that, you want to do anything for the animal just to have it. Well, the super vanilla is very impressive, but when you add the yellow belly to it, man, that's just insane what that does to that combo right there.
He will be up to size this year. Hopefully we'll get him and get some really cool super stripe stuff out of that.
Oh, man, I tell you. Or even some vanilla creams with the yellow belly in there. I'm sure that'll look superb. So you got your own yellow belly line, huh?
Yeah, that's what that was the fourth snake we bought. We started buying yellow bellies. We got every one out of Africa from Ian. He did really well with them, 99% improved. Every now and then we got one that didn't improve, or it actually turned out to be something new and different.
So thinking does pay off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell you, those are some nice flames on those animals.
Love getting the weird stuff out of Africa. Just to see if, just the excitement to see when the eggs hatch, if it's anything.
Awesome, man. So what about this white jungle here?
Don't think we're better 2 years in a row. I think it's just a white out, really white, high white, classic jungle, and it's just not going to. It was so some of these things were bought, 5-6 years ago, where if it had a different fleck, it was a new morph in that crazy time. So you grabbed anything that looked different in the box.
Well, never know down the road what this animal will do, Just like the white belly, have you done anything with that animal? That proved
this year. Made a carbon copy of the mom, and it's just, again, she was wild caught, really, really small snake, really, ate every week, just a really small snake. She's only 1,100 grams. Had her 2 years, she eats every week, and just got 2 eggs and 2 more females of her.
So what'd you pair her with?
She was bred to, believe it or not, just a normal pastel male.
So you're going to say a normal?
just a normal pastel male. Just, some of these things I want to make sure I can actually see something in it before keep going further.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to try to breed her a spider or something that had the white in it anyway. And just oh, it's a spider, and sell it off, because I've done that twice already.
And what did you do that with?
The first two, the collider, I made the second collider. That one we saw a little bit in it, but it probably was the first 2 calico pins 3 years ago, and 3 and 4 years ago, and somebody has calico pins in their collection, doesn't even know it.
So they breed it out.
Yeah.
How about that vanilla enchi, man? Those are another killer combo together that, mixed with just a couple more genes is just going to be outstanding.
She is 1,400 grams, and I can't figure out what to pair her with. I'm still trying to figure that one out.
Firefly?
I don't have a firefly. I was thinking about putting her in with that super vanilla yellow belly.
Yeah, that's it. That's a winner right there. They're right next to each other. They're match made in heaven right there. So what are you doing with that tiger? Are you still going that route with that project?
I do not own that project anymore.
It is an awesome snake, though.
Beautiful snake. With all the problems that it's had, I had worse luck from the beginning with that whole project, and it just went. I just gave it away.
So when did you get in the toffee project?
I got a toffee male. It was your last year, the year before. Another really great snake. Love the project. I'm partial to lavenders, but again, just another really cool snake, beautiful snake to work with.
Now, how old is any of your toffies? Are they full grown?
I have just the 2-year-old male, 1 or 2 year. I think he's male, 2-year-old male.
Well, they say they're supposed to get better with age and look all better than a lavender. No.
I really love my lavender. He, again, another wild-caught animal, and he came in on death's door. I mean, they hit him with a machete when they were digging him out of the hole. I mean, we didn't think he would make it, and we just, Amanda worked with him every day and cleaned his wounds and, finally got him. He was on antibiotics for 6 months. We finally got him going. He started eating right away, and he's been just, he's the father of the first albino spiders, lavender albino spiders. Just, so to me, that whole project is just a really cool project to us.
Now, did you import them yourself, or did you go through somebody else?
I had a friend bring them in for me.
Oh, nice.
He knew he was bad. Yeah, we saw pictures of him again. They showed over there just like one little picture. Oh, look, it's got one little like blister. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then it came in and we saw the rest of the snake, and he was just not in great shape, but he's still here. And I mean, that's one of the snakes that will never go anywhere.
And he's healed all up completely over time?
Yeah, he's got some really, I mean, if you look at him, you can see just really wicked scars up his body. Well, he's breeding, he's a breeding machine.
Can't ask for anything more then, huh? So what are you doing with that Super Sentinel project there?
Yeah, that's on the back burner. I did last year into some albinos. I'm trying to figure out with some of the other recessive stuff I just proved. Everything he was supposed to go with this year is now going to other stuff.
Well, that super pastel window granite, man, that thing is
really, really cool project. I got that from my buddy down in Florida. Just really cool. And he's brought it into I think calicos and stuff, and it's just really making some.
All right. Well, what's your take on all this legislation? It seems, I don't know, I'm here in New York. You're in New York too, right?
Yeah. And I'm scared. I'll be dead honest. I mean, they come out with these very vague things they want to add. I mean, they want to outlaw any reptile that could be harmful to a human. What's harmful? Like leopard gecko scratched me, so you can't have leopard geckos. It's a scary time, and I think the biggest mistake we're doing as an industry is that we're really not working together. I really think that we all need to come together and, really join the unions together and work together, because it's great that we have, 10, 15 different organizations to try to stop this, but that's never going to be as powerful as one or two. And I have friends who've seen it. I have friends who were in the bird industry, in the falconry industry, and they stopped it. It's done. So unless we work together, we're in trouble.
So you can't be a falconer anymore?
It's just the regulations and the rules make it unbelievably difficult to do it. You can't do it in New York anymore.
You have to work at some sanctuary or something.
Yeah. And it's coming, and we're all seeing it, because they're going at every direction. There's talk that they're going to go after the mice and rat breeders, and again, it's just another way to stop all this unless we all work together.
So they're just going to pick us apart, pin us against each other, and divide and conquer. It's an old tactic, and it's a proven one, and, we just got to defeat them.
It's the truth. We saw it here. We saw it in New York. First it was the primates, and then it was, big cats, and then it was little cat hybrids. And technically, Bengals aren't legal in New York. It's a house cat, but under the rules, they can get you for it.
You can't have retics.
Berms are retics. I mean, it's just it's. And the biggest problem is, and we've seen it all over the place, is that once one state does it, it's a domino effect.
They try to outdo each other. Like, hey, I'm going to up you one and do this.
I mean, 3 weeks after New York fell with the first part, with the berms and the retics and all that stuff, 3 weeks later it was Connecticut. Once they see they can get it through, everybody's going to try.
Everybody needs to contact their representative and tell them no. We will not.
And explain to them. I mean, you're really dealing with people who have no concept. Some of them really think they're doing the right thing, and they don't understand it.
Because they watch the news.
I mean, it's. I was reading somewhere they're saying it was like a $75 or $80 million industry in New York. In this day and age, I mean, that's a lot of jobs and a lot of money for this state just to be gone.
We have to show
You're going to have people leave.
Yeah, but that's not the answer, though. You can't keep on running, You got to, it seems like the easy out, but, what happens when you move to that state and they do it, They do it. How many times are you going to move, It's ridiculous that you have to even think about that we're talking about this right now, that we can't enjoy what we want to do, It's just ridiculous. All right, man, well, it was a pleasure talking with you. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we end this transmission?
No, and I really appreciate you having me. I really, I love the fact that you're doing this and getting, our voices out there, and just getting new people in the industry, I think, is the second most important thing we could be doing. A, we get to fight to make sure there's an industry. And second is just we really need to start bringing more people into it.
I agree, because numbers, and definitely if we have more people active, then, more participation, then we got a better chance. We won't be that low-hanging fruit, so-called, It's just, it's just mind-boggling. All right, man. Well, thank you. I really appreciate you coming on the show. And, again, make sure to check out John's website at albinosunlimited.com. All right, that's going to do it for this week's episode of Her Per Parade. Make sure you go over to herperparade.com and check out all the past episodes right there in our library. And while you're there, check out the contest forum there and sign up. And good luck. Her Per Parade out.
Hey, everybody, you're listening to Vin Russo at Her Per Parade with Jason Rossi. Stay tuned for more great stuff.